now time for another edition of The Master Debates. I, Brian Stackpole, will best Nick Netto once more in this edition of the debates. And this time around, we're going to be moving from the fighting realm or the best cartoon realm or whatever have you, and into the soft drink realm. In particular, the non-alcoholic sports drinks.
Are alcoholic sports drinks?
Oh, I think they are. They're for sure alcoholic sports drinks. You ever had Four Loko, baby?
Oh, Four Loko. Good one.
More of an energy drink than anything else, but still, I would consider that almost a sports drink.
It is very good. I like it.
But nonetheless, we will be going towards, today, a Gatorade versus Powerade topic. And you, Nick, decided to choose first, and you went with
Powerade,
which is dumb.
Brand loyalty.
Brand loyalty. We'll get into that later on. But I'll take Gatorade, the sure layup of a victory here today. And we will have the proceedings, and then you can let us know who you think won this debate. Make sure to follow us along on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram as well on Stacked Deck Pod, and also this YouTube page. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoy. But without further ado, Nick, would you like to start the proceedings today?
Sure, Brian. I love Powerade. I love Powerade more than Gatorade because nothing puts a worse taste in your mouth than Gatorade. Millions of people went onto Twitter last year and flamed Gatorade just for having the worst aftertaste. There was a voting of the top 10 soft drinks that had the worst aftertaste, and Gatorade was at the top. Powerade, not even on the list. So that should go ahead and tell you something. Gatorade, when I think of Gatorade, I think of one specific thing. Think of the NFL. When I think of Powerade, I think of summer times, good times, great times, hanging out with friends, hanging out on the boat, trying to stay hydrated, trying to stay afloat. But when I go out and I need something, a thirst quencher that is not carbonated, is not too sugary, I go with the first company, the first sport drink company that went with zero sugar, and that's Powerade, baby. Powerade's all about health. Powerade is all about wealth. And there's nothing that I like doing more than sitting on my back deck, cracking open an amazingly tasty purple Powerade, and enjoying a nice summer's day with a stogie in my mouth.
All right. Okay. I'm just imagining you during the summertime just enjoying a cigar with a Powerade. Like, normally you pair a cigar with, like, a whiskey, I don't know, some other drink of choice. Well, yeah, you've got whiskey too, but you're going to mix Powerade and whiskey together?
Have you not?
No, I have not. I might have done the vodka
whiskey
Gatorade,
sour.
but... So I'm going to paint a picture for you here for my opening statement.
Okay.
So you've just gone out and played some sports.
What sport?
You're a big football guy, right? So I'm going to use the football analogy. I'm more of a soccer guy myself. I played that a little bit longer on. But you go out there on the gridiron. You go a full 60 minutes, or even back in your case in high school, 48 minutes. You're exhausted. You need that extra pep in your step to make it even through the rest of the day. The sweat, precipitation, or the perspiration, because of the precipitation, it's even dried you out even more. It's a rainy day.
Wow.
But now you have perspiration coming down your face, and you're looking for something cool. You're looking for something that can replenish everything in your body. And it's not about the zero sugar, for instance, when you're a sports athlete or you're an athlete in any capacity. What you want to do is you want to rehydrate. You want to get those electrolytes back in. And the best way to do it is to go and reach in your trusty bag and pull out a plentiful Gatorade. So many great colors, too. This one's cool blue. And you just open and crack this one up. You're feeling beat. You're almost dehydrated. And you just twist off that top, drop it down. And that cool blue runs down your gullet. And you just feel better. You don't have those shimmies, those shakes anymore from the dehydration. You feel the electrolytes pumping up your body once more. And you have access to Gatorade because it's everywhere. It's dedicated a whole cooler in every grocery station or a grocery store, any gas station. There's tons of Gatorades. It's plentiful. They have so many different varieties now because people care and they love it. So there's no better way, in my thinking, in my world, than to replenish everything than to just try to grab a cool-ass Gatorade. Not only that, the branding on it alone is just so much more superior. They've got the G with a lightning bolt through it. It just shows you that it's going to electric shock your body back into its normal condition again because they know what's up. Nick, you can start with your rebuttals because I've got some good stuff coming up for you coming up later on.
Okay. Well, as bullshit as all that sounded, Powerade doesn't need to go with a child's logo because Powerade is not meant to be babied. It's not meant to be belittled. It's a drink for champions. There are 38 individual flavors of Powerade out right now. And on top of that, every cooler that has Gatorade in every store also has Powerade. I went to 8 individual stores, and each one of those stores had Powerade and Gatorade. When I was a kid, I remember Gatorade used to just kind of taste lackluster. Now, every time I went to the store, I wouldn't go and get a Cool Blue Gatorade. I would get a Mountain Berry Blast. Now, what's the difference between Mountain Berry Blast and Cool Blue? The taste. The taste is everything. Gatorade may be the sponsor for the NFL and other sports affiliations, but Powerade is the official sponsor of the Olympics. Also, Powerade was owned by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is actually sold Powerade, and they're going to be moving on to their own LLC with Glacier. What Glacier decides to do with that is up to them. Did you know that Gatorade's patent, Pepsi is not renewed? They could be discontinuing Gatorade altogether. And how would that make you feel arguing for it? Rebuttal.
I mean, that's just pure speculation. I don't think Gatorade as the brand is going to be going away anytime soon. And you talk about the flavors, Nick. Gatorade has been around forever. Do you know the original 2 flavors of Gatorade, Nick? Because I do.
Red and blue.
No.
Or yellow and red.
No, they've had it for a long time. It was still popular, even though they had 2 meh colors and flavors. It was lemon lime and orange.
Okay.
And they still was popular. The other thing I'm going to bring up here on top of that is the market sell share. When you look at what Gatorade has produced over the years, it is incredible. Do you know how much from 2013 to 2018 according to Statista?
Batista?
No, Statista.
What is that?
It's a online analytics stats organization.
Who runs that?
It's Statista. I don't know. It's a statistical
Probably
thing.
Privately owned.
Okay, they do this for all the brands. It's a pretty reputable site. Oh, just check it out.
We'll see.
Do you know since 2013 and 2018, do you know how much Powerade sales that they were able to have during that time in terms of volumes each year?
How much did Statista say?
$1.05 to $1.35 billion in sales, which is pretty respectable in the Powerade game. I'll give them credit. That's a lot of money.
$1 billion is
I'd take $1 billion any day. I'll take $1 million right now if you want to give it to me.
I can't. Now, how much did Gatorade?
Gatorade, on average, went from 5 to 5.9, almost $6 billion per year during that time.
Very good sales.
That is almost 4 to 5 times larger every single year than what Powerade was able to produce. It's popular. It's more important. People absolutely love Gatorade. When you go to the store, there might be a couple rows of Powerade, but there's nowhere near the same inventory that you would see from Gatorade because it's the vastly superior and more popular item. And you mentioned Mountain Berry Blue. Can you name some other...
Mountain Berry Blast.
Can you name any other? Can you name any other Powerades for me? I'll let you talk.
Rush Red. Raging Orange.
Okay, no. I want to put this out there because I actually did do some checking on this one. They used to name them exciting different flavors and different names with them, but what they've done now too is they went back to the normal, and then maybe they have recently changed, but what they did is they went away from it and went straight to the flavor names beforehand, as opposed to Cool Blue, Glacier Freeze. Like, that is some badass naming, which Powerade's now had to try to rectify their mistakes again.
Okay, Brian. I hate to do this to you. When you drink a Gatorade, you want to be relaxed, right? When you drink a Gatorade,
I'm relaxed right now. Yeah.
You're so relaxed.
Yeah.
Take a sip.
Look at me. I'm just...
You just drank harmful dyes that kill people every year in over amounts in the body. Overexposure to the dyes in Gatorade has been proven has been proven to be harmful to the body. You know what Powerade has?
What? What's that, Nick?
It's all natural, baby.
It's naturally
all
blue?
naturally blue. Made by dyes found in the rainforest, found in the forest. Gatorade is a whole bunch of pool water sucking nastiness. And you need to respect the game. You got to understand that the reason maybe Powerade decided to step away from the whole naming scheme is because they didn't want to lead their loyal buyers astray. Cool Blue, nothing cool about it.
What's a mountain berry? Have you had mountain berries
You ever had a
before?
mountain berry before, Brian? It's great. It's the
Yeah.
same place you get Mountain Dew from.
Where do you get your mountain berries from?
The mountain, Brian.
Which mountains do you go to? Do you go to like Mount Katahdin? Do you go to Mount Everest to get your mountain berry blast?
Usually you'd go to the Appalachian. Usually you'd go to the Appalachian for your mountain berry blast. And they have it running from a trough. Comes down from the mountain. You hold your bottle up. It's like Poland Springs. Where do you get Poland Springs
so it's
from?
all natural. So there's no other
Everything
additives.
natural.
I bet if I pulled one of those labels off there, I don't think it says natural mountain berry blast springs.
Let me read you what it has in it. I can't read.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably words you can't even pronounce anyways.
No, it is. It says all natural. You're going to want to drink it. And if you don't drink it, then you're not doing anything right. Now, Brian, tell me this real quick before we go over to you. I have mad respect for you, by the way. We are best friends. Some could say brothers.
I think that might be on a limb.
Wow. Gatorade has direct lines to type 2 diabetes.
Wouldn't Powerade be the same thing?
Studies have shown that Powerade is less of a diabetes influencer than Gatorade.
You know why?
What do you have to say to that? You are giving people type 2 diabetes.
Well, I'm just going to put out the market share of Gatorade versus Powerade. No one's going to get diabetes from Powerade because no one drinks it. So,
well, apparently,
and
someone
anyone can
drinks
get
it
diabetes
for $1 billion worth of sales. Someone drinks it.
As a person who enjoys Coca-Cola, do you think Coca-Cola doesn't cause diabetes too?
Also, here's another thing.
I mean, that's kind of, it's just
I
any
would like to
drink with
see
sugar in
what
it.
the sales are for Powerade on an Olympic year, since they are official sponsor of the Olympics.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, Nick. I'm
God.
glad you did.
Here we go. You know something I don't probably.
So, when you look at sponsorships, I'm just going to go over some of the sponsorships. The Olympics is a fair one for Powerade.
The biggest ever.
You got the NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, and National Hockey League.
Wow.
Those are the 4 major sports, right, in the United States?
Not as big as the Olympics.
I mean, who cares about the Olympics? It's
Whoa!
every 4 years for summer. And
Do you
once
know
every
how
4
hard
for the
people train
winter.
for the Olympics, Brian?
I get it, Nick. But also, when you think about it, the 4 major sports franchises, or the sports leagues, all are sponsored by Gatorade because it's the superior product.
How about golf?
Not just that, Nick. When you're talking about people and branding, Michael Jordan is a huge proponent. Do you not like Michael Jordan?
I hate Michael Jordan.
Well, then you're one of one. Also, look at some of the other athletes that have sponsored it, including Jordan. Peyton Manning, Sidney Crosby,
Don't
Derek
you
Jeter,
even look at me
Tiger,
and say Peyton Manning like
Tiger Woods.
I hate Tiger.
Also,
Rory McIlroy all
Dwayne
the
Wade.
way.
Do you know any of these sponsors that are Powerade athletes? Can you name them?
Can you tell me them?
Okay, I'll name them. I want you to tell me what sport they play. Ali Krieger. What sport does she play?
Cross-country bowling.
She is a soccer player for the U.S. women's national team.
Close.
What about Kevin Pillar?
He is a assistant director to the National Fishing Derby.
He's a baseball player.
Close.
Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard, don't even fool me. He's on the pit crew for number 23, which I believe is Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Nope, wrong.
No, I think he retired.
He's a basketball player. And also Steven Adams. You know Steven Adams?
Yes, he was on American Idol.
Close.
Stevie, people call him Stevie Nicks.
He's a basketball player. So even the athletes, like you don't even know the athletes. I
Well,
know you were
Brian-
probably doing it in jest, but you don't even know the athletes.
Listen, Brian, when we are gonna sit here and talk about who knows what athlete, you were talking to a guy that hasn't done any sports broadcasting.
Well, but I mean, you know who Michael
you
Jordan
are all
is.
about who is my? I don't know. Michael
You know
Jordan.
Tiger Woods. You know the
Who's
Gatorade
Tiger?
athletes.
These guys are nothing, not compared to the Powerade athletes, which I can name all of them, but I refuse.
Well, I was about to say, I just gave you 4 of the top 10, and those are 4 of your top 10. They also, I believe, are the official sponsor of NASCAR and the PGA Tour. When I'm thinking about athletics and replenishing your electrolytes and just being back out there, I'm thinking of like actual sports. No offense to golf or NASCAR, but they're kind of just not doing much exerting physical energy, so you don't necessarily need the electrolytes. It's a sham.
So, Brian,
Yeah,
like
go
I
ahead.
said, mad respect, best friend, probably brothers. Are you a racist?
Not a racist.
Are you a racist?
Why would you mention that?
Because back in 2007, Gatorade AM put out a very racist commercial that sparked rights debates, controversy, and riots in small cities across America. Now, what can you tell me about that?
Riots?
What can you tell me about that? I'm not lying, man.
So,
Gatorade AM.
do you know who owns Gatorade?
I do.
Pepsi Company, who bought Quaker Oats, who owned it for a long time. Do you know what Pepsi has done for civil rights in the movement compared to the parent company of Powerade?
Do you know what Pepsi's done back when that Jenner, the Jenner girl, turned into a girl and caused
Caitlyn Jenner?
Yeah. They did a commercial with her and it sparked national controversy across the entire world. Pepsi's a bastard company.
I'm just saying Pepsi had a great amount of support for the African American community in minorities.
After they tolerate it, they just shit all over it.
No. Look back in the 1940s when the Ku Klux Klan was endorsing Coca-Cola because of their
Don't you ever bring
practices.
up the Ku Klux Klan at this table, sir.
I'm just going to bring that up because, again, you look at the history of who supports minorities better throughout the years between Coke and Pepsi, the parent companies of these two, and you obviously know Pepsi is the better one.
Ever since you told me that with the Coke and Pepsi debate that we did, go check that out if you haven't yet. Very good debate. It is on the same channel you are watching this or on the same platform. I looked up who has had the more racist columns checked off, and bar none, it is Pepsi. Red, white, and blue, my ass. If you drink Pepsi products, then that's okay. Nothing wrong with you because they've rectified their mistakes over the years. But
they didn't have any mistakes at the beginning.
Oh my God, Brent! How can you say that after the whole Caitlyn Jenner thing? After the Gatorade AM racist debacle?
So one bloop, though they depicted African Americans and minorities in great light.
How do you spell bloop?
BLOOP.
That's usually how you spell it.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, Nick, this is just the biggest point here. You know how long Gatorade's been around? It's been around for 55 years. 1965. It's almost getting up to 56 different years. You know when old Powerade came to fruition? It came in 1988, a full 22 years after the product launched of Gatorade for them to even come up with their own different variant. They're copycats over at Powerade. They saw the market being dominated, and they said, you know what? Let's just try to steal this. Let's try to steal this from them. They stole it. They stole it. That's what happened. It's ridiculous. And it's so bad, the Powerade is, that you just drank, that now you can't even breathe.
No.
It's reacting with your body and making you sick. It's making you sick.
No, it's because I looked at your face.
It's making you sick.
No, don't even.
And now the dog is all upset.
That was funny. That was good.
Do you want another rebuttal, Nick?
No, I'm good. I think we're time for the gavel, man.
I'll say when the gavel comes in.
The gavel
son
coming
of a
in?
bitch. All right.
You can go first.
I'll close. When you think of Gatorade, you think of greatness. You think of the sports and everything around it that it's all been predicated behind, right? When they win the Super Bowl, Nick, when a Super Bowl is done, What do they have for a prop bet?
Prop bet.
There's a prop bet.
What
you know
is
what
a prop bet? No.
A prop bet basically is a bet that's not game related or like winners or losers of the game. It's usually like what player will score the first touchdown, how long the national anthem will be. And there's also one called what Gatorade color will be a part of the Gatorade bath. It's so in depth and embedded with the lexicon of sports. Gatorade is synonymous when you think of sports and rehydrating. It's known. Also, did you know, Nick, in my closing arguments, that this is based in science? It was done by the College of Medicine. Let me just get all my information.
I need the year, too.
In 1965, the College of Medicine and the University of Florida, by members, and I want to get this right and give them credit, Robert Cade, Dana Shires, Harry James Free, Alejandro de Quesada, all came up with a way to replenish the electrolytes and get their athletes at the University of Florida back on the field and back going as good as they were when they started the contest. Do you know Steve Spurrier? Have you ever familiar with Steve Spurrier?
Very familiar, yeah.
Steve Spurrier was the quarterback of the Florida Gators team that won the Orange Bowl that year versus Georgia Tech. And the team was inspired, and they did so well out there in that contest in 1967 that they ultimately won, with Steve Spurrier back at the helm. Georgia Tech coach Bobby Dowd, or Dodd rather,
rest in peace,
said on why his team lost to the Florida Gators, quote, "We didn't have Gatorade. That made the difference." Do you have any quotes about Powerade and how synonymous they are with everything else?
I do, but I'm gonna wait until my closing argument.
Okay, I'm just saying that in terms of just in general. When you think about sports, you think about replenishing yourself. You think about Gatorade because Gatorade is the vastly superior. It doesn't have a bad aftertaste. It has cool bottles too. Have you ever had one of those little twist
They
top
stopped
ones?
making them.
No, they don't. I bought one last week.
Where is one today, though?
I don't have it with me right now,
That's-
but I can go fish it out of my bottle redemption if you really want me to. Give me like 20 minutes, I'll find one. But they
we don't
have one of
got
those
20.
weird twist-off things. It's absolutely
Looks
perfect.
like a nipple, and you suck on it like a baby.
Compared to the actual nipple that Powerade produced back in the early 2000s.
And got rid of.
But they actually did produce a nipple. I'm just going to put that out there. That's why Gatorade is a superior product, because not only is it branded with all the athletes, the superior athletes, the sports franchises and leagues, it's just the best product ever, and it's not racist.
It's very racist. Don't sweat it. Better yet, do. The more you sweat, the harder you work, is the slogan of Powerade. Now, let me tell you something, Brian. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I myself haven't drank both drinks. Clearly, I have consumed many a drink in my life. But next to every Gatorade cooler that there ever was in every sports game, there is water. Because you are going to need to rush the water down your throat to get rid of that bad aftertaste. Bobby Boucher was the water boy, and that guy wanted him to have Gatorade. Bobby Boucher's like, no, fuck Gatorade. I'm all about water.
Wouldn't you need the water for Powerade, too, to wash it down?
No, because
the
I'll tell
same
you
thing.
why. Powerade has no aftertaste. When's the last time you had a
that's the
Powerade?
worst. It's the worst
Powerade's
aftertaste.
no, it's not.
the worst
Listen, I
aftertaste.
didn't talk once during your
Yes, you
rebuttal.
did.
I didn't talk once during your rebuttal.
Yeah, you
Play
did.
back the tape. That's the playing back the tape.
Yeah, I'll do
But
it.
I will not sit here and I will no longer drink Gatorade because I'm not going to support the racist company, slanderous company that Pepsi is. Now, I will sit here and tell you, I had a really great debate today. This was probably the best debate.
You did better than I anticipated. I expected you to lay down and just take it. Edward and Jacob, shout out.
You are a bitch. And this concludes my closing argument. Also, to the audience that watched me drink this entire thing, I am sorry I couldn't get through all of it because Brian is just so obscenely grotesque. It made me puke.
No, I think it's because the Powerade itself made you sick, Nick.
Maybe because I already drank a whole bottle of it at home.
I'm just a little disappointed you didn't bring up the Jim Jones thing.
No.
Made him drink the Gatorade?
No.
Kool-Aid?
No.
Stuff. I guess it's Kool-Aid,
It
technically,
is
so
Kool-Aid, yeah.
it would have been a bad point by you. Well, depending on how you think this went, obviously it's Gatorade because, I mean,
Clearly it's not.
5-1 prefer Gatorade.
Yeah.
Let us know in the
Only on a bad
comments. Make sure to follow us also, Stack Deck Pod, on Twitter, Instagram, and the old Facebook. But for Nick Netto, I'm Brian Stackpole saying we'll see you next time.